Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another episode in my farm garden series. So yesterday I ended up planting the garden up here at the farm garden, and my son and his wife and my granddaughter and my daughter-in-law's sister came up and helped us plant here in the farm garden. And it turned out really good. It went in really fast. So I'm going to show you that footage here, and then I'll meet you back here. So here is the garden. It's almost done. All we got to do is get gates up. This is the old part of the garden here. And then this is the new part of the garden right here. So we got this fence 8 feet high. Hopefully the deer can't jump higher than 8 feet. And then we have a path here in the middle. So there's a gate that has to go here. You can see he's already done the preliminary work for this gate. Yeah, it looks really good. It reminds me of my horse riding days. Like, this looks like a riding arena. That's how big it is. It's so big. All right, so Tim and I got to take this silage tarp off and see what happened while it was on there. So that's what our next step is, to take it off, and then we're going to rototill it. The tarp is off. So let's see here. At first glance, I don't think I gave you a really good close-up view of this, but there is quackgrass in here. Just tons of it. And so, hold on, I gotta put my glove on. There's a lot of this. Like, you can see where it was, and it just dried right up. It's dead. Now there are a few spots, this should rototill right up, where, I'm gonna see if I can, it worked. Like over here. There? No, here. So this is still alive. It's going to take a couple years to get rid of this. But for the most part, I'm really happy with the results. Now, we only left this on here 4 weeks. You're supposed to have it on 6. 8 would be better. And for the most part, it got rid of a lot of the weeds in here. So I'm pretty happy with it. Now Tim will run the rototiller through here, and then we're going to mark off our rows and really kind of get everything marked. Tomorrow the kids are coming to help us plant, and we should be able to get the whole thing, hopefully, most of it anyway, planted in one day. So here we go. So we got our family here helping plant. We've already got the pickles in. Ken is putting sticks on the tomatoes. Yep, with the Velcro. There's Nick putting sticks in. Sam and Melinda are working on peppers and the last few tomatoes. So yeah, we're getting going here and getting this garden going. Getting it all laid out. So what I've done here is laid out, like, this is the potato bed. I just used some landscape paint to mark where it's going. And then over here, this is the corn. Again, I marked the borders and then to get a kind of an idea of spacing here. So I did start some corn from seed, and then the rest of it we're gonna plant from seed. So that should be good. Now I gotta lay out the rest of the garden because they're planting faster than I can lay it out. Well, here you go, poof, instant garden. This is what happens when you have 6 people planting a garden. It took us a little under 2 hours to plant this whole thing. Obviously the tomatoes need watering, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Everything is gonna get a good drink. I can't believe how fast this went in with all those people helping. They were going faster than I could keep track of. So they were just really moving. So let me show you what we got planted here. Here we have pickles, tomatoes, peppers. This is cabbage here, and then up there, right up there, is pumpkins. We have onions in front here, and then back there we have cantaloupe, and then we have beans. Here we have carrots. You can see where the sticks are, that's where the rows are. Here we have watermelon all the way up. And here I threw in some extra zucchini plants, and then the rest of this row is sunflowers. So from the opposite end now, this corner, I've got a patch of corn. It's 12 feet by 12 feet. And then right next to the corn is potatoes. You can see the white outlines is where the beds are, basically. And then I threw in a few tomato plants there because we had some room. Then the tomatoes and the pickles. So I planted this garden based off companion planting. So next to the pickles, I put dill because those two like each other. Then we have tomatoes. I'll put marigolds in there. And then we have pumpkins and cantaloupe and the beans, and cantaloupe and the winter squash both like the beans. The corn like the beans like the corn likes the potatoes. And then over here we have the watermelons that you can barely see the plants. See, there's one right there. Watermelons and sunflowers. Basically everything really likes corn, which is kind of weird. And a lot of things like beans. So there you go, the whole garden is planted. I'm sorry I didn't get more footage, but it was going so fast that I just wasn't able to manage everything and film at the same time. So I'll give you updates as we go along. There's something comforting about the sound of a rainbird, isn't there? So this is how we're going to water the garden. Overhead sprinklers. Now there's a well on this property, so we don't have to use city water. And eventually we're going to get 2 of these going. But right now we don't have the hose, so we got to go pick up some more hose. It's doing a pretty good job. Yesterday afternoon, we got 2¼ inches of rain, which was very welcome. I mean, we had this sprinkler going. We had the one going on this side, and we had just started the other side, and it had started to get some big, huge raindrops. So we stopped, and then this storm moved through, this cold front went through and dumped a bunch of rain on us. You can see like there was pooling in the garden, which is soil is really sandy. It didn't last real long, but it really kind of evened out everything. So yeah, the tomato plants look much better today than they did yesterday. So yeah, we got all that rain, and then it continued to rain overnight. Probably got another 1/4 of an inch of rain overnight. So today I want to go through and get rid of these lower leaves on the tomato plants because they're sitting on the ground. So I have to do that. I also, wow, the soil is soft. I also ended up planting a few more pickle plants that we had left over. Put them in here. I put another row in here. And then I'm going to plant flowers along here. That's all my leftover tomato plants. Yeah, I'm going to do flowers like for the rest of the garden. I've got a bunch of cosmos and zinnias. These are marigolds. These are cosmos and zinnias with a couple marigolds thrown in there. I wish I would have taken a picture of my truck with the bed of my truck completely filled with plants. I had to do some creative packing to get everything up here. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Yeah, everything looks a lot happier today. So that makes me happy. So here we go. It's a little chilly out here. It's 52 degrees. That makes a huge difference with everything. So yeah, coat today. At least this morning. It's supposed to get up to 66. Shouldn't be too bad. So this is my weapon of choice. This old thing. And I'm going to go through and do all these tomatoes. All right, I got them all trimmed up. They look much better. Their leaves aren't sitting in the dirt. So these plants are just starting to get suckers on them. And I'm probably not going to take the suckers off these because I won't be here that often. You know, every couple weeks I'll be here. And leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me, do you take the suckers off your plant? Or do you leave them? There are two schools of thought. And normally at home I take them off because I like to have as much air around them as possible. But I'm going to leave them here and see what happens. So, yeah. Let me know down below. Which school are you in? So, I did all of these tomatoes. We're eventually going to do the Florida weave here for trellising our tomatoes. I did put sticks in right now. Oh, did I miss this one? I missed this one. My nail will go through it. There we go. So I'll put the posts in probably today for the Florida weave. But I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do for this garden. Because that's a lot of tomato cages there. We're not going to be able to do that. Next thing I have to do, I've got a couple plants here that have smaller sticks. I think these plants are all just going to take off now. So I want to put some bigger bamboo in there and get those taken care of. There, that's done. I've got new stakes in there. So I've got everything kind of supported like at the very top of the vertical stem. So they'll last a couple weeks, I hope. We'll see what happens. Now, the next thing I want to do is get those flowers planted. Those there, and get those in the ground. And then I'll work on the stakes for the tomato trellis. So for the last couple days, Tim and I have been working on a bunch of stuff. It's windy, I'm sorry. You're gonna hear the wind noise. I've been putting up gates. Did you know that a 10-foot gate is only 9.5 feet wide? I almost got them. So we had to do a little creative engineering here to get this gate to fit. And then on the other side, instead of making one, we ended up buying a 12-foot gate, which is really 11.5 feet wide. So that's what we got on the other side. And then we've got the 2 boards above it. See that? That's to keep the deer out. So far, the deer really haven't been around the garden at all. Okay, then we spent a bunch of time putting chicken wire all around on the bottom. So you can see, and we did that all the way around here. So yeah, we're trying to keep the rabbits out. I don't know if that's gonna work or not, but we're trying. So that's what we've been doing. Everything takes longer than you think it takes, especially up here because we had to run a fleet farm for something, and it's 45 minutes away, so that's an hour-and-a-half travel time. And by the time you stop and get something to eat, it's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So yeah, it's a long time. But we got everything done. I haven't done much else except I planted flowers. Here I've got some, you can't see, let's see if I can zoom in. There we go. I've got some parsley, and then I planted zinnias and cosmos here. And I also planted them down at the other end. Here I put some basil, zinnias, and cosmos here. So that should create a nice floral border as you look down the garden. As for the old garden, we really haven't done anything with it because we didn't have time to get it prepped. So I'm gonna leave that in Tim's capable hands. He can, if he wants to plant something in there, he can. I think he wants to try peas. Although it's pretty late in the season for peas. So that's gonna be it. You guys coming? Come on, let's go. There you go. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching this whole weekend. And until I see you next time, happy gardening. Bye-bye.